You have a message. You want to share that message. You want it to be social, to go viral, and spread across the planet. But how do you get started? Tune into Amplify, featuring host Ken Rochon. This show is here to help you take that message and channel it through the most effective marketing techniques to not only be successful, but have a positive impact on the world. Tune in live
Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
and get amplified.
Well, howdy, howdy. This is Ken Rochon on Voice America Influencer Channel, day after Easter, and it is a beautiful day here in the DC area, and we will be traveling to a very, very beautiful area this week. How are you, Andrea?
I am very excited. First of all, I drove all night. I should break into song on that to come here to Baltimore to meet with our next the guests after our cameo, and we're going to be doing a lifestyle photo shoot and sizzle reel today. So super fun stuff here in the Baltimore DC area, and then in a couple days, you and I will be taking off to Key West to be doing some amazing things there. So, how do you feel about that? I'm super excited.
Well, of course I'm excited. I mean, 1 year of captivity with COVID, no events, total annihilation of the world, the galaxy getting rumors Earth will no longer exist. Of course I'm excited that we're starting to wake up again as a planet and head to Key West to let the world know that Key West is where you want to be.
Definitely so. It's going to be amazing, and we'll get to do meet some amazing people, which we'll find out in a few moments. First, I'm going to go ahead and thank our sponsors. That's Opus.finance, also known as Bees.social. They're our featured sponsor, a crypto technology for the people, by the people, educating them on how to have financial literacy with crypto technology. Also, the EMF Fix for these necklaces, for helping protect us from EMF, mymakeuplady.com, Lynn Benavides, the Umbrella Syndicate, Perfect Publishing, Big Events USA, the Red Carpet Connection, and Voice America Influencers Channel. And back to you, Ken.
Well, I mean, we just want more sponsors so we can just keep giving shout outs to all the people that love
We
smiles
can
and
just
also
talk the whole hour and then go, here's Tim Mai. Okay, Tim, you're
So
off. Back to
I
sponsors.
actually want to bring Tim on right away because he has a fantastic smile. And I mean, keep smiling. It was meant for him. I mean, that is the smile of smiles.
He is a huge smiler. This guy, I fell in love with him when I met him. He is so much fun. Tim Mai is a real estate coach, a real estate investor coach. He has had multi-million-dollar businesses, and he's a Vietnamese immigrant. So he was making me giggle. He goes, "Yeah, I'm one of those Vietnamese boat people." I love how he just laughs at everything and really has a really great outlook. He's got a great family, and they live in Sugarland, Texas. And he's all about bringing people together to help them create financial literacy with real estate.
Well, welcome, Tim. And
Thank you.
I know that this is going to sound like a bad joke, but I promise you that I'm going to go somewhere a little more classy and creative. Okay. So I know you're Tim Mai, but you are now my Tim. Now I know that's going in the place you've heard before. I get that, but I am now your Ken. So now I am my Ken. Okay, very good.
Awesome. My Ken it is.
So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to break out of the COVID paralysis to create this amazing event. And I know you shared concerns that everything was going to be covered correctly. So thank you for allowing us this opportunity to really show up strong and to be a part of your event. And I'm just really excited about it. And I know you saw this before the show. I was going to surprise you with it, but I do want to have this up because there's something you don't know that I showed you. Even though I showed you the book, you don't know this. This right here is printed in a book that says, "Keep smiling, acceptance happens." But what you don't know is this young lady from Vietnam, who was someone that is an immigrant and came to our country. She is the first person to believe in us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dr. Emily Letran was the very first person to do a Keep Smiling book. We now have 140 plus books.
Oh, wow.
And if you don't have the first person accept and believe, there is no second.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm actually touched at this moment because this card has a different meaning to me. And I've also been to Vietnam, and so what a wonderful country, very hospitable, beautiful, beautiful culture, and it was such a great experience. I could stay there a month. That's competing with a beautiful other country called Cambodia, which I also love. I love both those countries. So tell us very quickly. I know we're talking about the event mainly, but tell us very quickly um, what Vietnamese means to you, what smiles mean to you, what your country means to you.
Mm. Well, definitely home, right? And smiling is just, it's funny that you because I'm known for my smiles
I can tell.
and my
I
giggles.
love his
You can
giggle.
pick it
Yes,
up.
his giggle is a winner.
And it's just I mean, even when I don't feel like it, I remind myself to smile, to keep me in a positive state. And so smiles to me is just that positive vibration that we bring to the world, right? That because we know when we smile, not only does it lift us up, but it lifts up the people around us. And so so I don't know if that answers your question.
No,
Richard.
it actually answers it so much we could do a full show on this. So I will just say to respect the fact that you are a cameo and you are the person we're honoring because we're doing an event. I can only imagine that you, as a host and a person creating this amazing event, normally if you hired a photographer, you wouldn't, or a publicist, you wouldn't normally get a show as well, and you wouldn't also get to be invited into a book and all these other things. But this is all part of how we honor people that are creating a positive force in the world, because you're creating a positive force from a standpoint of creating abundance, educating people so they can be more powerful, and 3, you're creating community.
Right.
And so many more things, but those are the 3 things that come to mind very quickly. So I'm very excited that on Wednesday I'll be joining you, meeting you, and enjoying 3 wonderful days of education. This is going to be new to me. I am not much of a real estate person, but I am a leadership person. I can tell that this is about leadership too.
Yeah. Our attendees that are coming, they're all coaches, real estate coaches to be more specific. But 3 generations of real estate coaches, all the way from Robert Allen, Ron LeGrand, Dolph DeRoos, all the way to the newer generations, guys that are in their 20s, very successful real estate investors turned coaches. And so, I'm super pumped.
Well, Key West is certainly an eye-opening way of bringing an event to the world, because it is it's prestigious.
Yes.
It's actually it's making a statement that the event mimics how the lifestyle is that you create.
Yeah, I wanted to have a memorable experience. That was my goal. Is that, I want this event not to be another event where you go and get a ton of information. This event is really about building relationships, deepening that relationships, and creating memorable experience, from those relationships.
Well, is there anything else you want to say? Did you want to share how to learn more about the event, how to contact you?
Yeah, certainly. Our website is HEROcoachessummit.com, HEROcoachessummit.com. And HERO is actually an acronym, an abbreviation for Hearts-Driven Entrepreneurs Enriching Others.
Beautiful. We have an acronym book coming out, and we'll have to add that acronym. So
that would be great.
Yeah, that's a great acronym. So Tim, I have not met you, but I can sense from just this virtual experience of energy that you are just such a full out player in life of loving humanity and causing value. And I think most importantly, generating smiles that actually ripple into the world. So congratulations, not only on a life you've created that we like to amplify, that's why the show is called Amplified, but also I'm so glad you selected us as a way of amplifying your goodness. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to seeing both of you there for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Oh, and a shout out to Roger Salam for introducing us to you and creating that connection. And super exciting because, Ken, we know about like 10 or 12 people that are going to be there already that we've worked with or been at events with or spoke on the same stages with. So it's going to be a little family reunion as well.
Actually, we didn't talk about something that is important, and I just want 1 minute for that. What does this event do to change people's lives?
Yeah, so this event came about is because through my journey as a real estate investing coach, I've been a coach since 2006. So, and as my coaching business was growing, my student success rate was dropping, right? Because like learning how to scale, taking on more students and still having the success for the students. And so I basically scaled down my coaching business in a sense of taking on less students, making sure they succeed. And that's a conversation and a metric that's not measured in the coaching industry. Student success rate, right? We all measure, our cost per click and our, dollar per head and our, revenue. That's common metrics that we keep track of, but student success rate is not a metric that's many people track. And so that's a big conversation that we're bringing to this event is, how to achieve as close to 100% student success rate as possible, and having that as a KPI in our business.
That is the true metric, and that is the true social proof that no matter what it costs, because if it costs 10 times what you're charging and you got actually that value out of it, you actually have a life you love. It's that simple. So I'm glad you brought up that metric, because you're right. That is the number one metric. And when I talk to my clients, I always talk about, is your publisher getting you to republish and showing that you are someone that is going to go long term, not just a drop of a book, right? So thank you so much, Tim, for this opportunity to not just work with you, but be on the show. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Keep that smile.
See you in a couple days.
Yep. Yes.
All right. Andrea, if you'll please bring on Carmen.
Yes, I will. Just a moment here. I am super excited about Carmen being on. I've known her for quite a while. Carmen Ventrucci, the CEO of True Sisu Life, known as the girl with a golden shovel. She helps you find money in the business because she knows that you have the power to design the life you want. And she, as the golden shovel finder, or the woman, the girl with a golden shovel, her mindset mastery and action-taking tactics help you achieve professional, personal, and financial success to live your passion. She thrives on developing and supporting you and your corporation and your business. Say yes to Carmen and ignite your business. Hone your quality with clarity and lead your results that you dare to dream. Carmen Ventrucci, let me pull you on screen. Here she is. Oops, instead I took me off. Let's get her on. I love it when sometimes technology is not following what I need it to do. Here we are. Carmen Ventrucci, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Well, Carmen, what beach is that you're at today? Thank you for stepping away from the beach to be on the show.
Oh, it takes a lot to get me away from the beach, Ken. So anything for you. No, this is okay. So this is my virtual background. It's fitting because my family and I were just at beaches last week. We were at Myrtle Beach, and then we were on the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
So beautiful.
For a few days. Yes.
And the week before that, you were in Orlando at Disneyland World.
We went to Howard Beach, which was on the Gulf, and we went to Disney World, and we were in Panama City Beach, which is a little on the Panhandle in Florida. So we've been hitting the beach quite a bit the past few days.
So you've been kind of roughing it.
We've been roughing it. Yes.
Literally.
And so the reason that we've been hitting all these beaches is because I have 6 children, right? My joke is 2 were planned, 2 were not, and 2 just showed up. And with their ages 4 to 11 right now. And so with distance learning and everything, my husband and I decided that we were going to rent out our house, pack everything we own, buy an RV, buy a car, and tour the country for 9 months while our kids distance learn. And so that's provided us a whole bunch of opportunity. I'm very close to you guys right now. I am between Baltimore and DC right now. I'm broadcasting from my car. My car is my office, hence the virtual background. It looks a little nicer than the car. The car is named The Beast, by the way. And
what is it named?
The Beast.
Oh, of course.
Because if you can fit 8 people and tow a 37-foot camper, it is a beast.
Yes.
And the dog. They have a dog too.
Can't forget the dog. We can't forget the dog. We have a gorgeous, goofy chocolate lab named Bodhi, and we're having so much fun and smiling a lot along the way. And I still get to talk to fantastic people like you.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. So we are going to possibly have an appearance from my son, who is an author, to give a gift to your children. So we're thinking it might be in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll let the kids steal the show for a little bit.
Okay.
I believe he's going to be able to remember 11:30 is his spot time, which is the beginning of the second segment.
So
So
Carmen, will yours be able to join us if that works
I
out?
could pull one or two in for sure.
okay,
Full beans.
and do not pull all 7 because you only have 6. Okay.
Yeah, I only have 6. Don't add more. Stop
No
adding more.
surprises, right? No surprises.
Okay, so our audience always loves to hear the journey and the background of how you became who you are. So I'll structure this so you can take it away as you wish for a whopping 3 minutes or so. So first of all, where you're born, what defining moments caused you to be who you are today, and anything about your parents or anything that happened that actually made you have an epiphany that this is what you wanted to do with your life.
Oh, this is a great story. So I am born and bred and raised in Minnesota. So normally we live just outside St. Paul, Minnesota. Minnesota is wonderful. We absolutely love it. We take advantage of all 4 seasons. We play hockey, we ski, we go to the cabin, we swim, we water ski, all that great stuff. So born and bred in Minnesota, graduate of the University of Minnesota. And I have always been one of those people. I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm really smart. Okay. School was easy. Okay. So I did well in school. I went to college. I have an MBA. There's a couple defining moments that have really changed me though. I remember, and Andrea, I've never told you this story, my high school sweetheart, who I didn't marry, by the way, but he was, my long-term boyfriend in high school. He made the comment one time. He's like, sometimes it's like you have a piece of coal so far up your butt and I'm just waiting for it to come out as a diamond, meaning I was really tense. I was really like focused. I didn't have a lot of fun, right? And I was, as I said, I did well in school. So I was always doing a sport or, taking a test or doing whatever I was doing in high school. And I was kind of like, but I have fun. And he's kind of like, really? You think that? I was like, yeah. It's like, why don't you think about that a little bit more? And so that was one of those pivotal moments like, oh my gosh, I really am a little too serious sometimes. And so that helped me think things over. Another defining moment actually happened 2 years ago now. And Andrea, you do know this story. My sister, who was 36 years old at the time, had a massive stroke. Like statistically, she should not have survived, although she did. And I'm happy to say she's at home, still recovering. She has 2 beautiful baby girls. Well, they're not babies anymore, they're giants, but two wonderful girls, and she's kicking butt. Now, you hear on the news all the time, stories of tragedy, right? People have strokes, people have cancer, people get sick. And this hit very, very close to home for me because she's my sister. I love her to death. And, that sibling bond. And so I said, I know I'm not happy doing what I'm doing right now. I know I'm supposed to be doing something else. That was the kick in my butt that I needed to go and make that happen. And so at that time, I was working for a corporation, doing something similar to what I'm doing now, actually, just on the corporate level. And I originally had a plan to exit corporate America and start my own business by December 31st of 2019. I was able to accelerate that timeline by 7 months. And I left my job and started my own business on June 4th, 2019. So a whole 7 months sooner. And so what I've learned about myself along the way is that I really like to have fun. I'm very good at making the mundane things fun.
Give an example.
And let's see. Okay, with my kids the other day, I will gamify anything I can for my kids. And so we were packing up at one campsite to go to the next, which is kind of like a 2-hour process to get everything going. And, they're checking double things for safety and everything. I said, if you guys can get your bunk room done within the next 10 minutes, I will buy you donuts. Guess what? They got the bunk room done. They got everything cleaned up. We were ready to go and we left on time. Yes, it cost me $6 in donuts. I'm okay with that. And so
donuts are king with kids.
Oh, I don't know what it is. Donuts and kids, they just go gaga over it. And so
I'll do stuff for donuts.
I will too. Okay. It's not just kids. Maybe it's a human thing. But anytime I can gamify something, and the reward doesn't have to be edible. I mean, the reward can be like, hey, what you get to pick the movie we're watching as a family tonight. Or if it's with clients, like, hey, I'll throw in a value add for you. Sometimes you just need that carrot in front of you to motivate you.
Yeah, I agree with you. My dad, he would say, I'm not going to beat you tonight if you can just get this done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is a motivator. Yes.
Okay, so that's cool. So you make it sound like you finally awakened to happiness, and I just am a little surprised by that, because I would say that you probably, this is me going out on a limb here, that you connected happiness to being successful or productive.
Yes. And it's more than happiness. It's are you having a good time?
Okay.
Are you actually enjoying what you do? Now, yes, we all have mundane tasks to do. There's laundry and there's paying your taxes and all, all the adulting we have to do, right? But are you enjoying it? So I see this all the time. I see this, I mean, you can tell, and people post on social media, you talk to other people. I have clients that do this. A lot of us do things and we don't even know why we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the job we're in, the relationship we're in, the things the activities we do, and maybe we don't want to do it so much anymore. We just go about our business and we don't really know why we're doing it, and we're not really enjoying it. It's about enjoyment.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And the older you get, the more you learn that lesson, I hope. So let's talk about your husband and this pandemic for a second. So the pandemic first, meaning if it wasn't a pandemic, this idea probably wouldn't have come about. Is that kind of a good way of putting it?
That is correct. We've always said, oh, what if we could? What if we could? And we realized, oh, this is the opportunity to do it. Sports are done. Our school is, I am not meant to be a teacher or a principal. So school is offering a distance learning option. Let's take it. They can stay in their district and still learn by qualified teachers instead of mom and dad, versus a full-blown homeschool model. And we're like, let's do it. And we're real estate investors. We rented our house like that. We know what we're doing there. That was the easiest part. The hardest part.
Yeah, from the time that she made the decision till she had it implemented was phenomenal. By the way, her husband is a stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
Or was, and now he's a stay in the RV dad.
Stay in the RV dad, yes.
So your husband obviously is very supportive of you to be the stay-at-home dad. Give him some shout outs and tell her what that's like.
Oh, Drew is awesome. So he's just Drew. He's not Andrew. He is wonderful. He is one of those guys. I am very lucky to have him, and I know it. And I probably don't tell him that as much, so I will be sure to play this back for him later. He's one of those guys we are still as much in love as we were back when we met in our mid-20s. And we've been married almost 11 years. Our anniversary is next month already, our 11-year anniversary. And we just have a blast together. And so I am very lucky to have him. He does a great job with everything. And you know what? He's one of those guys, you say, honey, can you do this? He's like, yep, let's figure it out. We work very well together as a couple. We are very in tune as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much fun. Like, even buying furniture is easy. We're like, we both like that. Done. Out. Like, we both love real estate. He's a realtor. He's not practicing right now, obviously, because we're traveling. He's only licensed back home in Minnesota. And we love talking real estate together. We have a lot of commonalities that just make it fun.
Okay, so before I go to the next question, I had another question about him. Mm-hmm. And that question was, drum roll. Okay, I can't get it. So I'm going to give you. So how are you guys making a living while you? Oh, no, I got it. I remember. Mm-hmm. So whose idea was it that stated we're going to go on a road trip?
It was Drew's. He was thinking about it and he brought it up. He said, what do you think if we do this? What do you think we just get an RV and we travel the country during the school year? I said, let's do it. Without hesitation. Let's do it.
Well, that certainly is, that shows that the leadership is in both of your hands and also the support is as well. So that's cool. Okay. So how do you guys make a living while you're on the road?
I can still coach my clients and work from the road. Mm-hmm. So my clients know that if they're meeting with me, I'm going to be in my car, just like I am now. And they're fine with that. And we also have some real estate investments and everything too, that, we just keep rolling and get mailbox money coming in the mail every month. And so I just work one-on-one with my clients, just like I'm talking to you now.
Cool.
So
So
one of the cool things, Ken, is because she works with entrepreneurs and corporates about how to find the gold, the whole idea, the premise of the girl with the golden shovel is she's really good at finding the money, the hidden treasure that's in your business that you didn't realize that you have more money available to you than you realized. So, I mean, I'm sure we can put Carmen on the spot. If you have a question or something, Carmen comes up with things like that.
Carmen, I would never put you on the spot, but to put you on the spot right now, give an example of like 2 or 3 things that you found with your golden shovel.
Oh, wonderful. So it depends. So it depends on the type of business. Now I have a few different tricks for brick and mortar versus online businesses only. So let's take the brick and mortar example. A lot of brick and mortars just want to get back to normal right now. Okay. They just want to get back to normal levels early 2020, right? And they're competing for people's attention. A lot of times it's just simple tweaks in the marketing messages. And I'll ask a business owner, let's say they're a salon. And I say, what is the offer you give people to get them in the door? And they're like, what do you mean? I'll give them a cheap haircut. I'm like, no. How do you get them interested to look at your website versus all the other salons' websites that are in your area competing with you? And they're like, oh, okay, now I see what you're getting. Because a lot of times you go to these websites of similar businesses and they're all pretty much the same. There's no differentiation. And so working on finding each business's unique selling proposition or USP is just huge. I mean, if you're a salon, you could be a veteran-owned salon and cater to veterans in your area. I mean, you can be great working with ethnic hair, and that's what you do best. You really want to find that USP for you that makes sense. And then everything else falls into place a lot easier once you know who you are.
We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that in the second segment because this is too big of a conversation to just quickly rush it. So I'll plant this seed just so you know that I'm really with you on this. If you're going into business, if you can create three USPs, you're probably going to be a leader in the industry.
Right.
Period. So Andrea is going to take us out with sponsors, and we're going to come back to that conversation. Oh, we're also going to bring in some chitlins. As many as you can get. Get 6 chitlins if you can. Yeah, get 6 chitlins if you can.
Yeah, 16 if you can find them in the cart.
No, but
more giving me. No more children.
Well, in all seriousness, we'd like to amplify each one of your 6 kids if they're up for just a hello, and then my son's just going to say howdy do as well, and he's going to be bringing over a present to you. All right.
Cool.
Let me round up some chitlins.
All right, cool. I want to thank Opus.finance. Opus.finance is let me stop her video so she can get the kids. Opus.finance and Bees.social, the crypto technology for the people, by the people, letting them know financial literacy through crypto technology. The Umbrella Syndicate, mymakeuplady.com, Lynn Benavides, Perfect Publishing, the Red Carpet Connection, the Umbrella Syndicate, Voice America Influencers Channel, and the EMF Fix. And with that, we'll be back after these messages.
All right, we're clear.
Oh, Ken was on mute. So we got a nice video. Ken, you're still on mute. There you are.
That's fine.
So when we come back, we'll do Keep Smiling.
Yeah, we're going to give a little shout out to the new cover and everything. I'll be right back with Kenny. Bye.
Okay, cool. So for those of you that are just watching just me during our break here for the show, I just want to let you guys know that the Keep Smiling movement, we really focus on smiles and being happy and being resilient, but that's because of what's happening in the world. People are in pain. People are committing suicide, in a suicidal situation. They're anxious. They're frustrated. They're lonely. They're without money. So we want to help them with the Keep Smiling movement, keep a smile on their face, and learn how to be resilient and overcome challenges.
All right, here we go.
This is Amplify. To reach the show today, please call 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. We also would love to hear from you via email to info@umbrellasyndicate.com. Now, back to Amplify.
And we're back here with Amplified with Ken Rochon. Ken is the founder of the Keep Smiling movement, and this is his show. And I am Andrea Adams-Miller, executive producer of Amplified with Ken Rochon. And I am going to bring Carmen Ventrucci back on here. Oh, I love it how the screen moves when you go to touch things. Always makes that quite fun. So let me start the video. And then Ken is getting his son here in just a moment. And we're going to have a whole bunch of kids on with us. Hey, look at these great munchkins. I'm so excited to meet you all. Oh, take yourself off mute, Carmen. It's okay. You might actually, for this, need to take your screen off because it's making them look like they're ghost children. And I see she's frozen right now too. There we are. There's everybody. Oh, awesome. Who do we have with us today? Oh, it's freezing up for some reason. Of course, that happens when people are on the road and doing things.
In the pink shirt, we had pink shirt, and then Haley in the purple shirt.
And you cut out who's in the pink shirt?
Lily is in the pink shirt, and Haley is in the purple shirt.
Hi, Lily and Haley. And I see we have Kenny Rochon with us as well. So Kenny Rochon, meet Lily and
Haley.
Katie. All right, cool.
So Kenny would like to show the gift he's going to be providing you later today. So go ahead. There we go. This is his riddle book. And he has a book, his joke book. Show the joke book.
So girls, Kenny authored these books during COVID. So he has 4 books under his penmanship that he has authored with his dad.
Okay, and let's show the last one.
That's wonderful.
We'll go ahead and send all these to you as ebooks, and he's going to make sure you get the riddle book because that's kind of a fun book for all the kids to have.
Wonderful.
So,
we love
Kenny?
Jokes and riddles in our house.
So do you want to say anything, Kenny? How your life has changed since we were talking about defining moments, and he included. Tell about some defining moments real quick.
One defining moment that I had was when I was rollerblading, and then that they changed my life with my legs were getting stronger, and also my techniques in ice skating.
And how about being an author?
That changed my life for being more popular and also getting more smarter and learning how to write more books.
Okay, and let's hear from our two young guests. How about you guys? Are you guys going to be future leaders and authors? What do you think of your mommy? I think it's on mute. There you go.
No, I think they're a little caught off guard right now. Okay. So what do you guys want to be when you're older? I know you guys have a lot of ideas.
I want to be a professional softball player.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I want to be a professional gymnast.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's pretty cool. So you enjoying this social distancing learning?
Yes.
Would you be happy if it continued? You'd be happy if it was one more year?
No.
By the way, Dominique Goss, who won the gold medal as a gymnast, she has a gym in Baltimore that she opened just before COVID. So maybe that's an opportunity for you guys to do something fun to do while you're in Baltimore area.
Well, I know I caught you guys a little off guard, but next time when someone puts you on the air, you'll have a riddle that you can share, and it'll catch the host off guard by asking the riddle. How about that?
Does Kenny want to share a joke?
You want to share a joke, Kenny? You can share a joke.
What do you call when you clap your hands in a circle? Round of applause. Yeah.
That's it. Good job.
Good job. Good job.
You guys have a joke or riddle you want to say?
Why can't you give Elsa a balloon?
Why can't you? Good.
She'll let it go.
Favorite joke. Yeah. Yay.
So that's in his
one I told you, Ken.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, it was great having you guys on the show, and we're going to go back to having your mommy feature. Just wanted to make sure the kids connect, and we have future leaders in the midst, and we're so excited what you guys are going to be doing in the world, and certainly that Kenny could meet you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you, Kenny.
I
All
love
right.
how the girls looked at each other and were like, I didn't know I was going to have to talk.
What's going on? I know. I'm like, just get the kids in the car. It's fine. They're like, okay.
Well, you know
They-
what?
they
I'm
were-
glad I didn't ask them to sing.
They would have. They would have.
They would
I
have?
bet.
Okay. Well, that's actually amazing, because that's not one I
Mhm.
would do. So Kenny's going to sign this to your kids. If you can put in the
Wonderful.
chat or text
Yes.
the names, I'm going to be meeting you for the shoot, and I'm going to present that to you from Kenny.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right. So we were talking about USPs.
Yes.
And I said something as daring as, if you have one
Mhm.
USP, you're certainly competitive. If you have two, you're like
Right.
getting unapproachable. And if you have three,
Mhm.
you're like, there's no one can
Yeah.
touch you. And I really do believe that. So give an example how you help people find the USPs, and how you even turn it into they dominate.
So it's a lot of questions and answers with the client. A lot of times they might think they have it and really they're not quite. So it's a little bit of clarity work with the client as far as what is your business, what is it to you, and what do you want to be to your customers or clients, the people you serve. And sometimes it's getting clarity, like there's definitely clarity on the financials that go with it, but it's also clarity on who you are. And why do people want to do business with you? You have to know why people want to do business with you. Like me, I'm the girl with the golden shovel. I have my little golden shovel right here. Once I say that, people get it. I'm good at digging into businesses to help you find the money that you're leaving on the table. It could be top line, it could be bottom line. And once I understood that that's my USP, people were like, oh, I know exactly what you do. Awesome. Where do I sign up? And before I didn't have the clarity before to really hone in on how I helped people and why they would want to do business with me. And so that's my personal example for me on once I started using that. Plus it's fun. It's like a James Bond movie, right? It sounds like it could be a James Bond movie.
Well, if I want to interject something very important about hiring you. So
Yes.
it's interesting that if you have the right USP and the right clarity, people also are not looking at pushing back, because they actually
Right.
understand you're going to make them money that helps you pay
Right.
for the service. And
Mhm.
a lot of people get lost in what the investment is, but they're not seeing that the investment includes a bucket load of opportunity, abundance that you get to keep beyond the expense. It's not like they're hiring you and saying, okay, you're X amount and you're going to help me make X amount, so I made nothing. You're helping them make mini X's so
Right.
that they can, yeah.
I like Xing people's investments. And one of the keys is, do they use the word investment or do they use the word cost?
Right.
That's a really good indicator on where their mindset is on their business. If they're seeing me as a cost, they're probably not going to hire me. If they see me as an investment and they understand I can help you multiply your investment, much better chance that they're going to hire me. They're in the right head.
And to expand on that, if they're looking at you as a cost, they're also thinking, I can't afford it.
I can't afford it. So that,
And if
yeah,
they're
that's
looking at it as an
big.
investment, they're saying, I don't have the money, I have to go find the money.
Right. Or how can I afford it?
How can I afford it? Right. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because I asked people if, to be the recipient of that question, I was told that the back cover of a magazine was $10,000. And I simply asked one question. I said, it doesn't really matter whether I have the money or not. Can you guarantee me 4 times that investment?
Right.
And she said, no, I couldn't. And I said, well, this makes it a little tougher then.
Right. Right. And that's how, I mean, I have plenty of coaches myself, and that's what I say. I'm like, I need to, before I'm going to hire you, this is what I expect. I expect a 3X or whatever I expect by the time we're done working together. And they're like, okay, we can do it, or yes or no.
Right.
And so when you're asked that question, when you're hiring somebody in business, you ask that question, it helps. What's the word I'm looking for? It tells you real quick.
Well, justify.
It helps justify whether or not you're going to have that investment.
You know, this is probably the most extreme important question to look at, not just for hiring a coach, but for hiring anybody, any service.
Yeah.
If you're looking at something that's going to improve your business, is this a question you can ask comfortably, and is it a question you can actually hear? But it's the social proof of it. Like look for people they've helped and get them to say, yes, my gosh, that was a game changer for me. So I love the golden shovel, and I want to dig a little more into what that does for your clients. So why don't you give us some gold nuggets, three to like 9 gold nuggets of what you help find for people. And I think it's really cool that you brought up that people might be the best at what they're doing, but they don't know how to articulate it, and they don't know how to structure it, and they don't know how to make it profitable.
Right. So, okay, couple golden nuggets. Number 1, know your USP. We already covered that. Number 2, always, always, always be on the lookout for opportunities to joint venture with other businesses. And so what does that mean? Well, let's go back to the salon. Maybe you could have a joint venture with a coffee shop next door where they send customers to you, you send customers to them, everybody wins, and everybody gets a good cup of coffee, right? I mean, let me give you another example. I was on this trip, I was at a laundromat doing 11 washers full of laundry. And we went to the bar next door while we waited for our laundry. And I'm sitting here going, if these two businesses don't already have a joint venture, they need to start one right now. Because I wonder how many people go to that laundromat and then go to that bar. Because there's synergies right there. You have a lot of synergies with a lot of other businesses. So always be on the lookout for joint ventures. Number 3, and this one's really important that a lot of people miss. I want you to thoroughly understand your customer transaction process. So attach yourself to an order. Pretend like you are the order and you are the customer ordering whatever it is from you. What is their experience? Is it easy? Are they informed of when they get their stuff, whether it's a digital product or an actual product or whatever it is? Do they know exactly how much it's going to cost? I mean, I had a absolutely horrible customer service experience last week. I was trying to order a product on a website. It didn't work. I called them and said, hey, can I order on the phone? They said, nope, you can't order over the phone. Like, don't you want my money? And they're like, yeah, we do, but you have to do all this IT troubleshooting work and try to use our website. I'm like, I'm out. Game over. I'm not ordering from you. I will find, I don't need your product that bad. I'll find something else. And so always understand how easy or difficult it is for your customers to work with you, because the easier you make it, the more they're going to work with you.
And the more they'll share it.
And the more, exactly, and the more they'll share it. Now you can bet, if you go to my Facebook, you can bet I shared that bad customer service experience. I used it as a lesson. I basically said the same thing. Attach yourself to an order and know how your customers interact with you and your interfaces.
Yeah, that's a social proof mechanism, is that you're accelerating either good news or bad news, which accelerates abundance or failure. So do you teach your clients how to measure their success?
Oh my gosh, I love data. Yes.
So
when I left my corporate career, I was a Lean Six Sigma black belt. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it was pioneered by Toyota. I mean, a lot of companies who do manufacturing are really good at Lean Six Sigma. It's a continuous improvement methodology. And so you can improve manufacturing lines, you can improve processes, you can improve financials. It's a lot of fun. And you don't know if you're getting better unless you can measure it. That's basically one of the mottos. That's not a motto. One of the driving forces behind Lean Six Sigma. And so it's kind of like Lewis Carroll and Alice in Wonderland. If you don't know where you're going, then clearly any path will do. And so if you don't know where you've been data-wise, how do you know you're getting better? Yes, you're going to have some soft topics like do you feel better on your job? That's something that you might not be able to measure as easily as, are you making more money? But you need the data to know where you're going and to how you're doing. And those days when you're like, oh my gosh, nothing's working, and you can still look at the data and say, look, I am still getting better because here's where I was and here's where I am now. It's a big pick me up.
That's really cool. And, it's the accountability piece that says you're getting where you're supposed to be getting, because if you're not, you're just spinning your wheel.
Exactly.
And it's so inefficient and so disheartening. And actually, it's probably, I'd say 95% of the reason why people fail. It's not 80%. It's almost all of it. So, I know you're working with Andrea. What is it like to have a publicist? Why do you need a publicist?
It's one of those things. Yes, I could do it myself and I would be stupid to. It's not here's the one thing. Like I'm big in networking. I know a lot of people. They know even more than I do. And so I believe it's a hybrid of it. that expression is not who you know. No, excuse me. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
I believe it's both.
Right.
It's really both. And so having people that can open up these doors for you and do it in such a professional manner it's so key. I mean, she's exposed me to other networks of people I didn't even know were out there. She's helped me find my personal USP that we were talking about earlier. I mean, she does exactly what I do with some of my clients. She's cutting through okay, you're saying this, but you're doing this. No, this is what you really are. Do you agree? Yes or no? And so that was just tremendously useful and tremendously helpful on my personal business journey.
So what I'm hearing is it's like the square root or the cube root of a USP. In other words, if you had either a publicist or you have the Rolodex of who would know about what you're doing as a USP, you actually really exemplify at a massive rate, like an accelerated rate, what you're going to be able to do in the marketplace.
It's play every ace, right? If you got it, flaunt it. Okay. So if you have a publicist who can help get your message out, go for it. Absolutely.
So I'm guessing that part of your journey is a book, and it's a way of teaching people how to have a life they love.
Yes. And so I have been in 4 books now that have been compilation projects. Yes. I just had one published 2 weeks ago that hit international bestseller. And so I have yet to do a book all my own, which I'm excited to do. And I have a lot of ideas for what I could write about.
I've been wanting her to do this for over a year now.
Yeah. Plus you can repurpose some of the gold nuggets you put in those other books.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And put it in the perspective of the pandemic, and also really you having a deeper dive into actually, because when you travel, you're able to think on another level. You're out of your comfort zones. You're thinking at really high altitude at what you're doing, where you're going.
I know. You know what? My last compilation book I wrote sitting in this very chair while we were driving down Highway 19 in Florida. And
That's
so
so
my
cool.
husband was driving, and I got ideas. I got to get them out, and it turned into my book, turned into my chapter.
So
now, one of them was hosted by Caesar, and Caesar's also a Keep Smiling ambassador. I believe he is either in the process of,
he's
or
a podcaster, right?
has turned in his. Yeah, he is. You've been on his show.
Yes. And so I want to start rapid fire early, actually,
Okay.
Carmen. So rapid fire is where we ask you lots of questions fast and you answer them fast. And the reason why I want to start early is because you're a unique guest and that you're on the road and you've seen so much. So I want to add a lot of the rapid fire to that experience as
Awesome.
well. So
bring it on.
So first question is, when is this journey over? When do you say that the social distancing campaign's done?
This RV journey, or are you talking?
RV journey.
June 5th. Our renters move out June 5th, and we will move back into our house after we clean it.
Is that 1 year?
It'll be 9 months.
9 months. Okay. Very good. Andrea?
I want to know why you decided to call the whole trip the Ruby Road.
And remember,
that is a great question. So the camper is named Ruby, and I don't know why. When I named it at the time, I didn't know why. I just knew I had to name it Ruby. Doing more research on like stones, different stones and gems and what they mean. Ruby is the leadership stone.
Cool.
And it has a lot of other meanings, but what we want to do is show our kids how to be leaders by taking this trip and being leaders for our social circles and our clients and our friends as well, showing people that you can find opportunity in any situation.
So it sounds like a long answer, but it's really, really short, I promise you.
Okay.
So give a shout out to your 6 kids and say one word that shares who they are to you.
They are exuberant.
Okay, but say each name. Say each name.
Oh, each name? All right. Haley, she is brilliant and she doesn't know it. Lily is the kindest person I've ever met. Sophia will be president one day. Tristan is going to love his family and love his wife just as much as Drew loves me and Drew loves his family. Dominic is going to be the CEO of some company. I don't know what, but CEO of some company. And Sloan is probably going to make us the most money because she is sly like a fox.
You did good. That was very quick. Okay, Andrea?
What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were little?
I wanted to be a ski bum. I just wanted to ski and have fun on a mountain.
And what book changed your life?
Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
That's a new
Love
answer
Chris
for us.
Voss.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I have to check
I've
that
been
out.
studying him the
Great-
last couple
great
years
book.
because he's
I'd like to do a part
yeah.
B of that. What's the book you had to make sure was in your RV for the kids?
What is it? Pete the Cat books. They love Pete the Cat.
Gotcha.
Oh, I like
Okay.
Pete the Cat. Those are
Mhm.
good.
Andrea?
What's a song that you play to jazz you up, get you moving?
It's a song. It's called Drama Free. It's by Dead Mouse, who's a Canadian artist. That's my
Yeah.
song. Like you're walking down the street and with your posse behind you, and like there's things exploding in the background type
Dead Mouse
song.
is awesome. Dead Mouse has
Yeah.
got so much great music. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, another two-part question because of your journey. Part
Mhm.
one is what movie inspires you, and then what movie exemplifies the trip, meaning you guys watched it maybe multiple times.
Okay, so the movie that inspires me the most is The Martian with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Can I
amazing.
explain why?
You may, yes, that's an amazing movie.
There's two reasons. I already talked about how I like to have fun. Well, throughout the whole movie, Matt Damon's character, like he's facing these dire circumstances. I mean, he's stranded on Mars, yet he's still a smart aleck and still having a good time,
Yes,
right? And so that really shows you like you can still have a good time.
right.
You might not be stranded on Mars, you can still have a good time. The other reason why I like it so much, and I always get asked because I have 6 kids, like, how do you do it all? How do you do it? Well, I'm gonna spoiler alert. At the end of the movie, he's back on Earth and he's teaching a class. And he says something to the class like, hey, if you do the math, you solve enough problems, you get to go home. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah,
That's the answer I need to give people when they ask me, how do I do it all with 6 kids? My answer is now, you solve one challenge and you move to another.
So since you broke the rules of
Mhm.
going very long on a rapid fire, you
Okay.
owe me that Matt Damon holds a Keep Smiling card because he is one of our favorite people in the world. So thank you.
Yeah.
Andrea?
Time wise, I think you should go next, Ken.
Okay, so we have real quick ones here.
Mhm.
So who's your hero?
All my grandparents,
Okay, and who's someone you'd like to meet that you haven't met?
both of the Obamas.
Okay, and what's a quote you live by?
Life is a perpetual state of change.
What's the name of your upcoming book?
Ken made me write it.
Awesome. All right. Well, it was a pleasure not only having you as a guest, but to hear that you're going to be in our vicinity, that I get to not only meet you, but give your kids a gift from my son. So the ripple effect continues, right?
Mhm.
So thank you for being a part of the Keep Smiling movement and also being part of the show, but most importantly, being a beacon of leadership that causes people to know that there is something measurable and they may have a gap that they can close with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
How can they reach you too, Carmen?
Check out my website, www.truesisulife.com. Sisu is spelled SISU. And LinkedIn and Facebook are my primary social media platforms. Just look for Carmen Ventrucci and you'll find me.
Awesome.
And I think we have a second. Share with everybody what Sisu means because we didn't cover that.
Yes. So Sisu is actually a Finnish word, and I'm part Finnish on my mom's side. It means grit, determination, and tenacity, no matter the obstacle, no matter the odds. And so it's really having that word in the title of my company is a tribute to my sister who suffered the stroke, because she definitely had grit, determination, and tenacity to recover from her stroke and survive her stroke.
Well, I share something in common with you is that my mom had to have Alzheimer's and to part the earth for me to be awakened how precious life is. So thank you. And I will, not to pun, but I will Sisu you soon.
Very nice. Thanks, Ken.
We want to thank our sponsors, Opus.finance and Bees.social, the crypto technology teaching people financial literacy with crypto technology and cryptocurrency, MyMakeupLady.com, Lynn Benavides, the EMF Fix for these necklaces that protect you, the Umbrella Syndicate, the Red Carpet Connection, Big Events USA, Perfect Publishing, Voice America Influencers Channel. And back to you, Ken.
And of course, Carmen. Of
And
course, Carmen.
yes, and of
So-
course, Carmen Ventrucci.
We have just heard a really cool person who's making the best of not only a pandemic, but actually a life journey and taking the family on. I can't even imagine how this will change all their lives, but I can say this is what you call a defining moment. So Carmen, thank you so much for sharing some time with us and being the person you are. Look forward to meeting you soon. And for all of you out there, take a risk. Think about something that you always want to do and ask yourself, are you truly living life? And if you're not, choose to. Stay amplified. See you next week.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of Amplified. Be sure to join Ken Rochon
Again next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 8 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Now, go get your message heard.